The Harpers, a family yearning for a break from city life, found solace in a secluded cabin nestled deep within the woods. John, the father, loved the idea of disconnecting from the world. Mary, the mother, looked forward to peaceful evenings reading by the fireplace. Their two children, 12-year-old Lily and 9-year-old Ethan, were excited about exploring the woods and building campfires. The first day was idyllic. They breathed in the fresh air, the scent of pine filling their lungs. Laughter echoed through the trees as the children chased squirrels. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Inside the cabin, a fire crackled in the hearth, casting a warm glow over the family as they shared stories and laughter. The second day started like the first, filled with hikes and games, but as evening approached, a sense of unease settled over the cabin. John noticed strange footprints near the edge of the woods, too large for any animal he knew. He dismissed it as his imagination, the isolation playing tricks on his mind. That night, as the family slept, a strange sound echoed through the cabin. A creaking floorboard perhaps, or footsteps in the hallway. John lay awake, listening intently. He told himself it was just the old house settling, but deep down a seed of doubt had been planted. The following day, the unsettling feeling intensified. Lily swore she saw someone watching her from the woods. Ethan's toys began to move mysteriously, as if controlled by an unseen hand. Mary tried to remain calm, but even she couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. That night, the whispers started. Soft, indistinct murmurs seemed to come from the walls themselves. John checked the entire cabin but found nothing. Sleep was a distant dream that night. The family huddled together, fear clinging to them like a shroud. The next morning the family awoke to a chilling discovery. Strange symbols, crudely drawn in charcoal, adorned the cabin walls. They were like nothing they had ever seen before, a jumble of lines and curves that seemed to writhe and shift before their eyes. The symbols amplified their fear. John decided it was time to leave. This vacation had turned into something sinister. But as he went to pack the car, he discovered it wouldn't start. The engine sputtered and died, as if drained of its life force. They were trapped. The disappearance. Panic set in as the day wore on. The symbols on the walls seemed to multiply, their forms growing more menacing. Then, the unthinkable happened. Ethan vanished. One minute he was playing in the living room, the next he was gone. The family searched frantically, their hearts pounding in their chests. They called Ethan's name until their voices were hoarse, but only silence met their ears. The woods seemed to press in on them, their shadows deep and impenetrable. Searching for clues. Desperation fueled their search. Every fallen log, every rustle in the undergrowth, sent their hopes soaring, only to be dashed again. Lily found Ethan's favorite toy bear, abandoned near the edge of the woods, its once bright fur now matted with dirt. John followed a trail of strangely shaped footprints, similar to the ones he had seen before, deeper into the woods. Mary stayed with Lily, both of them clinging to each other, their fear a tangible presence in the fading light. The whispering woods. John pushed through the undergrowth, the whispers he had heard in the night now echoing all around him. The trees seemed to twist and contort, their branches reaching out like grasping claws. The air grew heavy, thick with an unseen menace. He stumbled upon a clearing, a circle of dead trees surrounding a patch of barren earth. In the center lay a collection of stones arranged in a spiral pattern. As he drew closer, the whispering intensified, seeming to emanate from the stones themselves. Meanwhile, Mary, desperate for answers, stumbled upon an old, leather-bound journal hidden beneath the floorboards of the cabin. It belonged to a previous inhabitant, a man who wrote of strange occurrences, of shadows that moved in the night, and whispers that drove him to the brink of madness. He wrote of symbols carved into the trees, symbols that matched the ones they had found on the walls of the cabin. He wrote of a presence in the woods, an ancient and malevolent entity that demanded respect, even worship. John, drawn by an unseen force, reached out to touch the stones. As his fingers made contact, a surge of energy pulsed through him, throwing him backwards. A cold wind whipped through the clearing, and the whispering reached a deafening crescendo, and then just as suddenly as it started, it stopped. He looked up to see a figure standing at the edge of the woods, small, almost childlike in its proportions, but wreathed in shadows, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. John scrambled to his feet, fear lending him strength. He had to get back to his family. John raced back to the cabin, his mind awhirl with what he had seen. Bursting through the door, he found Mary and Lily huddled together, their faces pale with terror. They pointed to the journal, their voices trembling as they told him what they had found. The man who had written the journal, they explained, had been driven mad by the entity in the woods. He had tried to warn others to keep them away from this cursed place, but no one had listened. John knew they had to leave, but how? The car was still dead and the sun was sinking lower in the sky. As darkness enveloped the cabin, they huddled together, the weight of the unseen presence bearing down on them. Did they escape the cabin's clutches? What became of young Ethan? The answers remain shrouded in the mystery of the haunted cabin, a chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed.